I
Hey
didn't get to
everybody.
watch it, but I remember most of the moments, and if you tell me something, then I'll probably remember
The
it.
memes. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the 10 fucking Gentlemen podcast. As always, I'm your host, the Bardmeister. I'm joined by my co-host, Landon. And we're also joined by
No.
Christopher Blow Flistifer, who hasn't been on the podcast since like
Woohoo!
episode 4.
Yeah.
Wasn't that the VTuber episode?
Yes, it was. He also was on the Kung Fu Panda one, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I came to visit on the Kung Fu Panda one. But I don't think I contributed much. Well, I joined late, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
We're doing a podcast.
Yep.
Isn't that grand?
Yeah.
So, who wants to start off?
So, Brady, you've watched Megamind a few times, right?
Yeah.
What is you, Landon?
Maybe a few times, I think, yeah.
Oh. Any immediate
Did you
thoughts?
guys still watch it recently?
I like the movie.
No, I'm just wondering if you guys have watched it and what. Nah.
Dude,
For all I know, you've never watched it before except for today, Landon.
Dude, I'm a
so.
DreamWorks kid.
I know, DreamWorks are good. But,
Pretty sure entire generation.
I guess we should probably describe the movie, huh?
Oh yeah, my bad story time. Let's start off with that.
Good.
You ready? Big brain
Yeah.
guy is bad. Gets punched by big muscle guy until big muscle guy dies. So big brain guy now rules the city and is all like, I'm super evil. Until he has a change of heart because he meets a lady disguising himself as another dude. And then after that, he's like, I'm bored. I need to make a new hero. So he ends up accidentally shooting this dick with the magic powers of the other guy. And now he's the new superhero, but he turns bad. So big brain guy's gotta punch him. And to find out that first big muscle guy didn't actually die. And it was really funny. But then other stuff happens. But then in the end, the big brain guy wins by shooting himself with his dehydration gun.
Thing.
Are you meaning every now and then?
What?
Are you meaning cut out every now and then?
No?
Oh,
Just
there's
record on Brady's laptop is fun.
It's not using my laptop, I'm using my computer.
Computer.
Maybe my fucking Ethernet cord fell out. I just pushed it back in.
Does he cut out for like
Well, the audience could hear me.
skip 3 times?
Yeah.
Megamind,
But yeah.
good movie. Really funny.
Yeah.
So Megamind is like a movie that's sort of like The Incredibles and how it's a parody of superhero movies. But the only problem about Megamind is that it came out before all the superhero movies came out.
No, well, I mean, this is after Iron Man. But before Avengers. It's 2010.
Yeah. One superhero movie came
There's
out,
a
and
couple.
then 20 more
And, well,
afterwards.
Not, at least MCU-wise, the X-Men were
Yeah,
going
there's
strong
others.
since the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Which
Yeah,
is why they're
there's-
able to parody this.
Yeah. But the world did go super strong with superhero
Well,
movies
yeah.
after this too.
Because it was, Iron Man 2 came out this year. I mean, that's why I'm thinking they used a lot of AC/DC in Megamind, just because Iron Man, that's what he does. It's all AC/DC.
Soundtrack was
Yeah.
choice was very good for this movie.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yes.
No, we follow the bad guy, too. Which is pretty unique.
Which usually just doesn't really happen. It's usually the good guy.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, but it starts open with the classic
This movie-
Superman is getting ejected from his planet because he's getting destroyed.
Yep.
Except for instead of Superman, it's Megamind, who has a big old bulbous, like blue head,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like a little baby of his goo goo gaga thing, and his parents are saying, like goodbye, son, our planet's being destroyed. You were destined for, and then the pod ejects off into space
Mhm.
before he can hear what they say.
Like, the funniest part for me is like, he lands in the prison, but they don't like put him up for adoption or anything. They just let him live there. He just lives in the prison as a child, and then he goes to shul.
Yeah.
Like, no wonder he turned fucking evil. The only people that he knows about are all fucking criminals. He was raised
I
by
mean-
Isn't mine
Yeah.
cutting out?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
Fun.
you maybe Landon is. 'Cause Brady's talking smooth now.
Well, I'm missing part of the conversation, so
Okay,
Alright.
I'm not repeating myself. Fuck your technical difficulties, Landon. Suck my
well, I
big
don't
fat
think there's anything I
balls.
can do, but it's prime time for the internet.
Yeah. Yo, what?
But after continuing on what I was saying,
Uh-huh.
after he gets ejected to the planet and he doesn't get to hear what his parent says, he says, "I never really got that part.
Yeah.
Was I destined for goodness, for greatness, destined for evil, destined for good?"
No.
And then the movie never states what they say, which is, I think, a pretty cool idea. Pretty cool moment that they did, because they never state whether Megamind was meant for good, evil, or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, I'm not like a super huge fan of Will Ferrell as an actor, but when they cast him good, they cast him good.
Like
Yeah.
all actors,
Well,
he did do a good job in this movie.
I think Will Ferrell is best in like comedy roles. And I think Megamind might be his best role. That or in the Anchorman movies, which are really funny. Part of the reason why I didn't want to watch the Lego Ninjago movie, despite being a huge Lego Ninjago fan as a kid, is because they cast Will Ferrell as Lord Garmadon, and because I watched the show a lot, right? I watched the shit out of that cartoon, and so like Lord Garmadon was actually supposed to be threatening, but it's really hard to take him seriously when he sounds like Will Ferrell.
Yeah, he did a really good job of acting in Megamind. I really like it. Megamind is an amazing
Oh
character.
my god, he steals the show. Like, it's perfect. The script is hilarious.
Yeah.
The action, all the dialogue. One joke that never fails to make me laugh is when fucking Titan punches through the door of the invisible car, and then he like looks behind him, and Megamind's like on the back of the door, and then just before he gets punched, he locks it. It's so stupid. It's so stupid, but I find it endlessly hilarious. You're like, dude.
Yeah, and then the rest of the beginning is Megamind goes, gets ejected, and he's going on a good old course to a good family, like great rich family, like I don't know, the best way I can describe it is like Batman's family, except that they didn't die. But then another spaceship out of nowhere, a same small capsule, comes out of nowhere and bumps him off of course, making him crash into a prison ship. This other little spaceship had, what was his?
Metro
was it
Man.
from? Metro Man, which is essentially Superman on steroids, except for like
He can like basically stop time.
he's on like ultra steroids. He's technically over freaking powered as hell. Except for the only problem is like he doesn't really, I guess, have a personality.
No, he was
Like
always
he doesn't really.
forced to be a hero, not.
Shush. Spoilers.
Boy, this is the fucking podcast. It's part of the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, Metro Man just like he's only really doing it because he's sort of. It's the only thing he's been doing his entire living, which is why he's a superhero. But
Like the word you were looking
anyways,
for is life.
his life. But anyways, right? Metro Man steals his spot to go to a great family, and Megamind just literally ends up in the prison yard. And a bunch of prisoners go around him, and they go, "Can we keep him?" And they do.
Mm-hmm.
That's really funny in the movie.
One of my favorite fucking clips is like when the Queen died. Everybody on the internet was like, "There is no Easter Bunny, and there is no Queen of England." I saw that clip posted everywhere. It was so funny.
Yeah. So, in the movie, there's what's the guy's name who gets turned into a superhero?
How?
Cal. There's this guy called Cal
Hal
Jordan, I think.
Hal Jordan is the Green Lantern. I do not believe his name is Hal Jordan. I don't remember his last name, but it's Hal Megamind.
Cal Rayner.
He's played by Hal Stewart. He's played by Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah, it's Hal Stewart.
Ben Stiller was Bernard?
Hal Stewart is like...
What? I didn't know that. Fucking Brad Pitt
like...
was Metro Man.
That is amazing.
David Cross
Secretly a really high star cast. I didn't even know.
I know. It's like I'm surprised like Will Ferrell and Jonah Hill didn't make it into the Mario movie.
Yeah.
Like cast all these other people. Fuck, I think Will Ferrell's Mario would be a lot funnier than Chris Pratt as Mario.
Yeah.
It'd be equally as terrible. I just think it'd be way funnier if a cast. Sorry. You can keep talking though.
But Hal Jordan, no, Hal, right? What is his freaking name again?
Stewart, I think.
Hal Stewart? Yeah, Hal Stewart.
Yeah,
Hal Stewart is like is this like sort of creepy pervert nice guy?
Oh, dude.
Guy, and he keeps on hitting on like one of the other protagonists, which is this girl who, like,
Her name is
friends with Metro Man.
Yeah,
Roxanne Summers.
Something like that. I don't remember her last name.
I'm pretty sure maybe it's Summers.
Oh,
but
shit.
anyways, he keeps on hitting on this girl like all the time, trying to get with her, but he's just a creepy nice guy. So she isn't really interested at all.
Roxanne Ritchie.
Roxanne Ritchie. That's what it is.
There was a Megamind comedy short, The Button of Doom.
Cool. And
Somebody re-uploaded it onto YouTube.
Sweet.
That's fucking funny. It's like it's so compressed. It's in like 420p.
On my Marco.
That's hilarious. Sorry, you keep talking.
But this dude, freaking Al, right? Eventually, throughout the story, Metro Man gets tired of being a superhero. He fakes his death, and Megamind gets to take over the city. Some cool, fun, awesome moments happen. But then eventually he gets bored and has no idea what to do, and he thinks of kidnapping Richie for a second, but he's like, no. With Hal gone, with Metro Man gone, there's essentially no point. So what he does is he tries to make Metro Man. He grabs
Metro Man's dandruff.
I think it's literal dandruff or like skin flakes off of the cape that he used to fake his death. To create I guess some pill that he shoots up people's orifices to give them superpowers. In this case, nose. It was sort of by accident. Summers. Why am I? Roxanne finds where his base is and tries to go in there, and and some funny conflicts happen, some fun stuff. But in the end, he's using
Okay, so
this little pill he got.
one
Yo,
second.
keep going.
Apparently, in the works is a Megamind cartoon for Peacock.
Cool.
Called Megamind's Guide to Defending Your City. It was reported on last year a lot. Nothing's came of it. It might be canceled for all I know. But
Alright.
dude, Megamind only got a 72 on Rotten Tomatoes, both audience and critic
I
scores.
know.
The fuck is wrong?
When it first came out, it was not received very well. It just wasn't.
Dude, fucking. I mean, they changed how Rotten Tomatoes work for this movie.
What do you mean?
Captain Marvel got higher critic scores than fucking Megamind. Captain Marvel got a 79, and Megamind got a 72. Captain Marvel was the worst movie ever made.
But yeah, eventually, this pill gets given to Hal by complete accident, and he gets the superpowers of Metro Man, which is ultra busted and is very bad because Hal's not a good person. Megamind doesn't really know this though, so he tries to basically do a training montage with Hal.
It's a training and dating montage
Yes.
where he goes on a bunch of dates as Roxanne disguised as this other guy, Bernard.
Whatever happened to the other guy?
Bernard?
Alright.
Is he still in his pocket?
He's probably that, or
he
he's
got
dead.
turned. No. He gets free at the end, but he gets turned into a sugar cube for a while, and then eventually, near the end of the movie, he gets released. Yeah. They basically only brought him back to like say, hey, this guy didn't die. He just was just sort of hidden somewhere this entire
He's living
movie
in
'cause
Megamind's pocket.
Megamind just sort of forgot about him. Yes. What are some other funny jokes?
The Last Jedi got better review scores than fucking Megamind.
Because I was gonna go on about how the movie went, but screw it, whatever.
Star Trek Beyond got better ratings. I don't even know, like, I don't know which. Dude, they beat Hunger Games Mockingjay by 2 points.
Like I said, Brady, Megamind was not very well received when it first came out. It just wasn't. I don't know what to tell you. It really should have, because it's a really good movie.
This person said, in the depth of stories companies are telling, comparatively, Megamind feels cheap. What?
Yeah,
But it's so funny. I want to read all these quirky,
you.
funny, and relatable thanks to solid voice work and expensive animation. Humor that consistently elicits smiles and seldom outright laughs. Oh, this guy says the movie's not that funny.
P.S. at like the same week, I'm pretty sure Despicable Me came out, so that's also didn't help Megamind.
Yeah, Despicable Me 1 came out 2010.
It was very close. 2 funny villain movies with tons of minions.
July 9th. And then... No, it came out a few months apart, but Despicable Me came out first. And yeah, they have a similar concept, but Megamind is better because it's fucking Megamind.
Yeah.
It doesn't even know, like, oi, papu, ooh, I'm a minion, blah, 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 blah. To be funny, it's just got, like, some of the best comedy writing ever. This person says, just okay. It's not as good as people make it out to be. It feels like an average superhero movie, but I'll still sit through it again. 5 out of 10. Alright. It's time for me to make my Rotten Tomatoes account to leave a positive review on Megamind.
Yes, Megamind deserves positive reviews.
This week's episode is Megamind.
Yep,
Yeah.
Amazing.
Where'd Kenyon come from?
he just joined. Hi, Kenyon. Welcome to the podcast.
No.
Hello, podcast. I'm Kenny.
You heard it here first, folks.
I haven't really said much yet, have I?
No.
No,
Oh.
you should.
Well, I guess I'll talk about the themes of the movie, which is something I'm more or less stealing from someone else from a video I watched
Wow, Landon.
sometime in the last year about the themes.
Stealing, Landon? God.
Yes. I
Well,
don't know
Landon,
from someone.
Immoral.
that's not the 10 gentleman's way. We just do really crappy
Yeah, we just
stuff instead.
fuck up a little bit.
Well, only this part of it, like where they got the theme from. That's the only part I remember.
Yeah, that's fair.
The rest I forgot, but remembered sort of scene throughout the movie. It sort of does tackle the interesting concept about good natural or nurtured.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Nearly throughout the entire movie, we see Megamind grow up in prison, being an outcast, being
remember the
policed
part
as a
I
villain.
mentioned? Remember the part I mentioned about him landing in prison?
Yeah.
So they sort of teach Megamind to be like, not evil as in kill things, but like bad. Like, I don't know. Prison breakouts. Megamind would do those a lot of the time and participate in them.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the warden just treated like him like another prisoner. So that's fun. And then later on in the movie, I mean, okay, back to him still being evil. This whole time he's also fighting Metro Man, but it's like he's the classic villain with like the long mustache and goes hey, and then runs away before doing anything actually bad. And then later on in the movie, when Metro Man's gone and Hal becomes evil, Megamind sort of becomes the good guy.
Yeah. And he doesn't
That's
really do
pretty cool.
anything evil when he doesn't have a superhero to fight him.
Yeah, and he doesn't really do anything super evil anyways. At worst, he causes like massive property damage. But I don't think Megamind actually kills anybody. The closest thing is one dude he freezes to like steal his identity. Sort of by accident, but it still happens. But he does get eventually freed at the end of the movie, so.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also probably the other. He probably accidentally almost killed someone with the amount of dynamite he uses.
Honestly, true. But, problem. Metro Man exists. Which is why he didn't get to kill anyone. And which is why he did outrageous things, because Metro Man would just do it. Like we said earlier, Metro Man can basically pause time. Or he literally can. I don't know. He moves. There's a scene where for a solid few minutes, he says he like spent a lot of time thinking about what he wanted to do, because at some point he realized that he's been doing the same thing over and over again and doesn't want to participate in this game with Megamind anymore. So he spends a bunch of time, goes and like literally reads library books.
Self-help.
And then he decides to fake his death. And we have no idea how long it took for him to decide that. We just know it took him a bit.
He just
because,
like he can just basically stop time. He's just like za and then and he's like
Pretty
I
much,
did a
he
lot
didn't
of
even casually
reflecting
give
on
you
my
some
time.
Sure,
Living
sure.
in stop time.
Oh. Anything else to say about the nurture versus nature debate?
I mean, we can also see, I guess, Metro Man's side,
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
where he doesn't
You-
seem
you want
fully
me to?
satisfied with doing that. Nearly the entire time, we see him just being praised.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, Metro Man eventually decides that he doesn't really like this anymore, and he realized that he only did the superhero gig. I'm pretty sure he calls it, is because he's just this entire time he's been praised for it. Even early in the show, earlier in the movie when they were going to school, before Megamind decides, screw it, kindergarten sucks. I'm just gonna keep on being a prisoner and keep on being evil. Metro Man like keeps on getting praised for stopping Megamind from, I don't know. He tries to show off his cool little project and it messes things up. So Metro Man cleans up after him and everyone praises him for it.
Yeah.
And then eventually he just realizes that like he doesn't really want to be a superhero. So he fakes his death. And eventually they find him later on hidden in, I guess, this old decrepit place.
It's,
He
his,
just goes
it's,
to the
it's
secret
their old
basement.
shul house.
Old shul house? Oh,
That's how
schoolhouse.
That's how he says it. He's like the shul. Text.
But they eventually find him there, and he's just relaxing there, chilling there, trying to find out what he wants to be. And right now, he thinks that he wants to become Music Man, partially so he can keep the M, but also just because he likes music. He's not very good, by the way.
I love thinking about it. He's just like, you've got talent, but we need you right
Yeah.
now.
This moment is like sort of treated as like a gray area because it's bad. Because Metro Man was the superhero, he left the city. He's stopped. They left him. He left the city in the hands of Mega Man. But
Mega
same
Man,
time, it's good.
Mega Man,
Mega Man.
super fighting
Megamon,
robot, Mega Man.
But at the same time, it's like it's not exactly a bad moment because it's something he never really wanted to do. He just sort of did it because everyone wanted him to do it. And that's like why he faked his death. And then during this, he tries to inspire Megamind to become a better person and to be that hero that the city needs. He says that there's like always a yin and a yang, and a hero will always rise to conquer evil. Yeah, and then Roxanne is of course pissed at Metro Man for abandoning the city. And I think
mean, he doesn't
Mega
even
Man is
compare.
just dumbfounded. Is that what he was?
Yeah.
He's just like,
Yeah, like he just didn't really know what to think of this situation or really what to do. Yeah, and then I think they eventually leave, and like it's sort of a big sad because at this time Hal Jordan's still running around causing a muck, trying to kill people and do bad things. Yeah, and then I forget what happens afterwards. Yeah. Anything else about nature versus nurture? I don't think so. I guess there's Hal Jordan. I mean Hal Stewart. Hal Stewart.
Yeah.
Jordan.
How Mega Man
This is
just randomly
Mega Man and fucking Green Lantern had a battle at the end of this movie, guys.
Shut Brady. But freaking Hal Stewart was like never a really good guy in the first place. So
He's just a dick.
yeah, he was basically just a dickhead. So when he got these powers, he wasn't a superhero at all. He was just a villain. Not even a super villain, just a villain. Just a bad
Oh, you're a
dude.
villain, all right. Just not a super one.
Just not a super one.
He didn't know how to make the entrances.
Yeah.
Yes. I people who hearing this, please watch Megamind.
Part of me wants to fake my death, so that when I fake my death, and then I'll show up at my funeral and be like, my death was greatly exaggerated. As I kick open the door, and I was like, "Oh my God, you're alive!" That's
Or
what we're
make-
doing. That's what we're doing in JoJo's Abridged when when Joseph shows up at his funeral, they're like, "No,
Yeah.
he's dead." And they're like, "You're alive." He's like, "My death was greatly exaggerated."
Any other opinions about this topic or subject? Anybody?
No, you covered it more than I thought I would.
I like Megamind. And I like talking when I know about things.
I only watched this once today. I was supposed to watch it twice. So that's basically all the notes I have.
What are the other topics of this? Other than haha funny stupid superhero
I don't know.
and funny jokes.
When I found the mod I want to download, I'm gonna buy Devil May Cry on PC, or DMC5 on PC, and I want to get the fucking this mod I sent to the Discord. It just replaces the epic cool chair that Virgil's sitting on in the final cutscene with the fucking like lawn chair.
The Virgil chair.
If that's what that's the footage that they used in the meme where I am the storm is approaching, provoking black clouds in isolation.
Yeah. I guess the only last thing of note is, like I said earlier, with that scene at the very start of his parents saying that he's destined for blank, and then never being able to hear it. That's probably a really cool line relating to nature versus nurture. Because it's never really stated out loud that Megamind is evil or not. That's just sort of how he is, and then later on he becomes good. So that's cool.
It was only stated by himself.
Yeah, it was sort of just stated by himself. And I think this was like during when he was in prison, so probably not the most accurate line from himself. But I mean, hey, that's how he was feeling at the time.
Good movie.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the nature versus nurture stuff. What is some of the really good jokes that I know Brady has been slowly stating them throughout.
My favorite one is when he hits the lock. Also, him not knowing how to say hello.
Yeah,
Olo.
Olo. Like,
you said Mega Man again.
Freaking Megamind! Shut up, Brady. You know what I'm talking about. Freaking.
That's neat.
What was I talking about? My brain just reset itself for a second.
That's sick.
I feel like we're not doing this episode slightly justice.
No, we aren't. It probably doesn't help that a lot of the times you guys don't have structure at all, and Brady's just been interrupting with funny jokes, which has been cool, but I feel like now would be the good time to interrupt with funny jokes, Brady.
Yeah, I ran out of stuff.
Hello.
Brady ran out of stuff also a few minutes ago, so that's always a great idea, I think.
That's sick as hell.
Dude, probably gonna have to redo this.
Oh, my balls.
How are the fight scenes?
I think they're fine. They're nothing special, but they're definitely fun to watch.
I think like even though it's like 2000, when did it come out? 2010 or something?
Yeah.
2010. It looks really good for a movie. Yeah, there's nothing really bad I can super say. I guess how Minion looks, but that's just he's supposed to look a little weird and a little bad on purpose. I'm pretty sure so, because he's just like a gorilla suit. Because I'm pretty sure it's like an old gorilla suit that they just put together. I don't know what it is for sure, but like that's what I feel like it is.
Oh, I never thought of that.
Because you have to remember, like, Megamind's smart, but he doesn't... He's just sort of been doing it himself, by himself. It's like a really old... It's like the Invisible Car. That's a really old car. That's probably not a good car to use, but he just used it because
He doesn't
I don't
have any
know.
money. He's
Probably
like,
what he had.
he's kind of broke.
Or like he just thought it was cool or something.
How many people do you think he hit with that?
Oh, probably a lot.
The forget me stick. Oh, that's probably my favorite joke.
That one is too.
So when they first try to meet Hal Stewart after he has the pill up his nose by accident, they just like straight up walk into his apartment expecting a lot more, but it's just his apartment. And he's I think Hal is just sort of standing there like, what is going on? What the flip? And they're like, huh, Hal wasn't supposed to see us. Use the forget me spray. And Minion like shakes the can,
Like, it's
like
empty.
shaky, and it's empty. And he's like, oh, just use the forget me stick. Alright.
Bonk.
And there's this like mini bat, like a literal police baton that says, I don't remember what it says. I think it just says forget me stick, and he just whacks Hal on the face of it. It's called the forget me stick. You hit him so hard they forget.
So stupid. I love it.
It's so dumb, but it's so funny because it comes out of nowhere. Does Mick have a lot of slapstick comedy?
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some...
It does.
Yeah.
I like the part when he's like pretending to fight himself as fucking Bernard in the basement or whatever. They're like beating each other up or whatever. He's like, oh, he's got me, and he'll change back to himself and pop back up. He's like, oh, he's beating me up. Oh, he's so strong and charismatic. And they'll switch back to Bernard and be like, I got him, and then they'll get like shot out of the thing. Like, we gotta run.
So, a little bit of backstory behind that is, at some point, Megamind goes to blow up a statue of Metro Man, because he doesn't want to see it anymore. And some things happen, but he accidentally turns this guy called Bernard into a dehydrated, like, cube.
Well, he
I'm gonna call sugar cubes.
It's not an accident. He does it on purpose, because he's like...
He does it on
takes his
purpose because Bernard
identity.
sees him. And he doesn't want... And it's just, he's in his pajamas, so he doesn't want Bernard to tell anyone or to show anyone or anything like that.
Or Roxanne Z.
Yeah, and he also does it so that he can get out of Roxanne's way quickly. And another iconic gadget from Megamind is he has this watch which lets him disguise perfectly as anyone else. The only issue being with it that it doesn't change eye color. That's it. It even changes voice, which is pretty cool. And he uses this to make himself look like Bernard, so that Roxanne doesn't think he's Megamind. And then he gets out of there, blows up the statue, and dips. And it's pretty funny because the detonation goes off early, so Megamind's like freaking out. This wasn't supposed to happen! As he just runs away and the scene ends.
Wait, humorous.
Yes. And then Brady mentioned it earlier, there's a montage of him going on Roxanne as Bernard, and also training Hal at the same time as... What is it? The fairy godfather?
No, I'm your space dad.
I'm your space dad. And then it was Minion who was...
His space
Was it
stepmom.
the fairy stepmom?
No, he was his space stepmom.
Wasn't it just stepmom, or was it space
It was
stepmom?
space stepmom.
He just has like little fairy wings on the back, so I always remember it as fairy stepmom or something.
And an apron.
Yeah.
And a wig as a disguise.
Yeah, as like to cosplay as a mom. And they use that disguise, and Megamind uses his watch to, I guess, cosplay some like old, small, stubby space dad, I guess. He has like gray hair and he has some weird accent. Yeah, like that.
I wouldn't say accent. I think it's more of a lisp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really heavy lisp.
Unfathomable.
Yeah, exactly.
The power
yeah,
would be without
The
fathom.
powers are unfathomable.
Unfortunately, your powers are without
And they
fathom.
use.
Yes.
And they use those
that's
to
what I
disguises to train Hal. And this whole time, Hal is on the mindset of the hero gets the girl.
want.
Which in this case is Roxanne, but Roxanne is not attracted to him at all. Even as a superhero, because she was never attracted to Metro Man either.
No.
Metro Man was just a good friend, I guess.
Yep.
And and then eventually Hal tries to get the girl, but it doesn't work out, and that's when Hal turns evil, and then Megamind tries to like go up to Hal and have a fight with him, and he thinks it's like like it's gonna be with Metro Man, where it's basically just a show. They're doing it for fun. They're doing it because they can, right? It's just part of the daily routine. It's just everyday thing, and until eventually he realizes that Hal is not playing around, and he's gonna try to kill Megamind, because he is pissed because Megamind reveals that he was Space Stepdad, and that he lied to him the entire time, and that he was Bernard trying to date Roxanne, and that sends Hal over revenge and wants to kill him.
Finding all sorts of funny Devil May Cry mods. Like, sending them on with Discord is so stupid.
Yeah, he's no longer focusing on the episode. You're really carrying this episode, Chris.
That's why I got him on here.
Brady's being dumb as usual and is carry on with Devil May Cry mods instead of actual subjects.
Here's the problem, right? I ran out of things to say like 20 minutes ago. I don't know why or how, but I did, and I feel sad about it. But I'm just now I'm just kind of saving a bunch of cool or funny Devil May Cry mods to ruin one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh yeah.
No
Come
problem.
on, are you telling me you don't want to see fucking Nero with the world sound effect as fucking some anime character? Come on. Why not V as Kylo Ren with his lightsaber? This will be hilarious. I'm listening.
Yeah, he's gone. He's off topic.
Yeah.
If I think of something funny,
Here's the topic, Brady.
I'm sending them to the
How
wrong
powerful do
Discord,
you
that's
think
fine.
Metro Man is?
How powerful? He's probably. Well, I mean, he's basically just Superman. I mean, he like stops time and shit.
But he's even more powerful than Superman, because Superman he can't go as fast as Metro Man. Metro Man literally goes so fast, but time itself stops. Like we said earlier, we literally decided that he no longer wanted to do this fun. He no longer wanted to do this Superman supervillain gig anymore.
No.
And he literally there's like a montage of him running around talking, and it was like he flew a kite. He ate some French fries. He was reading a book.
He just like.
And during all this, like the same scene, like they eventually go back to Megamind, and Megamind's in the exact same position, exact same. He hasn't moved at all.
No, because he's like just straight up. You know, there's no way Megamind could have ever actually won.
Yeah. I feel like Megamind's maturity level is not super duper high, which is probably
he was raised by prisoners.
He was raised by prisoners, and like ever since then, he's just been having supervillain shenanigans with Minion, which has been basically just Minion's just like been his best friend, partners in crime.
He was built to serve. He's there to serve him forever.
I'm gonna be right back.
Lame. Like as soon as Chris left, and literally nobody said anything.
I think Kenyon's just chilling here.
At this point, yeah, probably
Me
waiting.
and you have nothing else to add.
Nope.
How come you don't have anything else to add?
I don't know. I'm surprised. I really like this movie. But
Should we
basically,
review
anything,
it?
maybe. But
Review it someday?
anytime. But Christopher, like, basically said all the stuff I was gonna say. So.
There were probably like a few good scenes I probably should have rewatched, but I couldn't. I forgot to rewatch the movie around an hour ago. Hours ago.
Yeah.
Please put the Death Note. I'm trying to be quiet about it, but like, goddamn, some of this shit is hilarious. Why is everybody replacing Virgil?
Yeah. Oh, I guess the other thing I can talk about randomly is other evidence of Metro Man not really caring about the people, but like not in like a dickish way, but like he just didn't really care. Is that one of the first scenes after they get out of like preschool and out of the prison when Megamind gets free for the 324th millionth time, there's Metro Man like doing I guess like a superhero conference, like saying, I saved the city, getting like the key to the city, but one of those kinds of scenes, right? And he's just like flying around, showing off how powerful he is. There's actually an allegory to how powerful he is. He literally just walks on water casually. So that's showing that he's powerful right there. You know, Jesus. One of the things, though, is while he's flying around, one of them says thank you to Metro Man, and he says specifically, thank you, random citizen.
Yep.
Like, he doesn't say the name, or he doesn't say, I don't know, thank you, man, or anything. He says thank you, random citizen. Sort of showing that he doesn't really care.
I thought he would have pointed out the juggling the baby scene.
I like how Christopher can literally fucking can quote this movie better than we can, and we just watched it and he didn't.
I don't know what to tell you, man. It's one of my top 3 favorite movies.
I mean, I rewatched Red vs. Blue season 1, and I quoted like half the thing to myself, so I kind of get it. I get it.
I just find the movie really entertaining.
It really is. That's the best part.
Yeah, I just like it. It catches my attention all the time. The only time it doesn't is that Bernard's, where he's like swapping. But I think that's just because I find that cringe for whatever awkward reason I have.
Like, it's funny.
It is actually sort of pretty funny, but I don't know. Yeah, back to that juggling babies thing. To show off his sheer amount of power and sheer amount of like, I guess, trust in his power that everybody has of Metro Man, is that he literally just juggles 3 babies casually, and then he just passes it back to their moms, because their moms just toss it to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he throws them back pretty hard. Not like
technically.
Pretty hard.
Yeah, he does, but I'm assuming at this point that like Metro Man is essentially a god. So he can basically do whatever you want whenever he. I think the only thing that's not exactly going for him, he's not exactly the most intelligent. But I think it's mainly just because he's overshadowed. He's overshadowed by Megamind. I don't know.
Just overly narcissistic, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is pretty narcissistic, which is, I think maybe he like, which is part of the reason why he stops being a superhero. I think. Because he like realizes that like all he wants, the only reason why he's being a superhero is not to be a superhero, but is for that praise.
Which is something we see he got his whole life.
Yeah, his entire life.
And he was probably spoiled by his rich parents.
No, duh. Yeah. And Metro Man is like very graceful and nice about this. He isn't really like ungrateful for any of this. And he says sorry that he can't do it, but he just can't do it anymore. He just simply can't. He can't be a superhero anymore. It's not what he wants to do. It just isn't. And I think he doesn't feel too bad about this, because I think he can tell that Megamind isn't a bad person. Which is probably why like Metro Man never did anything super bad to Megamind.
Mm-hmm.
Like he went along with the charade that he was weak to copper, and that like he had very certain weaknesses, even though he didn't. Like Metro Man literally has no weaknesses. It's played off as a joke because he fakes his death by like, oh no, it weakens my power. And Mega Mind's like, what? What does? Huh?
Copper?
He's very confused. And Metro Man's like, copper, it weakens me. And Mega Mind's like, what? Copper?
Yeah, so he does the, so like when he fucking, yeah, so then when he did the thing, he's just like, yeah, fuck it, right?
So when Megamind uses the super death laser on Metro Man, it kills him, and he's surprised, but like pleasantly, cause like, woo, I won. But then later on, like I said earlier, he gets depressed that like Metro Man no longer exists, and now he's like bored with life and doesn't know what to do. So he was happy temporarily because he finally won, but then big sad because essentially his second best friend just kapoofed and went bye-bye. Or like favorite coworker, I guess, would probably be a little better.
Yeah, I guess.
Something like that.
I guess
They sort of have a
another thing
wacky
that's
relationship.
I forgot to write down, but I just remembered was they had a very routine system.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I mean, you can just look at Roxanne's reactions to the chainsaws, lasers,
Just like same time next
battling gun,
Yeah.
sharks.
Remember earlier how I said this was like a satire about superhero movies? It definitely plays into that in like a good way. When it shows them kidnapping Roxanne, they use a bunch of various different traps, like I don't know, alligators in water, chainsaws, guns, flamethrowers, super mega death laser. And Roxanne's like, seen that one? Yep, that one. Yeah, that one like last time. Yep, seen that one.
The Spider.
And then eventually he's like, oh,
Spider.
that's new. And it's a little spider. And he's like, yes, the new spider.
I wonder why Devil May Cry and Genshin Impact fans cross over so much. Half the character swap mods were all from fucking Genshin Impact. If not, they're like from like Love a Lot, and fucking, or like they're a VTuber.
What?
Interesting.
I don't know. I'm pasting a bunch of.
See, Brady's off track right now because he's ran out of things to do and he doesn't have any valid opinions, right, Brady?
Nope.
He really gave up.
Be honest, if you guys have anything to say, you can say it, okay?
Uh huh.
I think it's just me and you trying.
Yeah. I think Brady ran out of things. He
Seriously.
thinks it's a pretty good movie, pretty entertaining.
I fucking
pretty
love this
alright.
movie. I just don't know why I'm like at a loss for words right now.
I can only enable you to talk further, Chris. Because I guess the only thing I can do as the host. Okay.
Okay. Do you guys remember that scene when it like is the DK reference?
Mm-hmm.
That was a pretty cool scene. It's when they're training up Hal. It was one of the montage scenes. It was Space Stepmom, aka Minion, throwing down barrels and acting like DK. He even did like the little foot stomp and bend through the barrel. And Hal was just walking up, was like flying up the little girders and just knocking the barrels out of the way. While also Blue Sky was playing, which was pretty cool. That was a really cool scene.
He's playing that?
It's shining
Yeah, it was
in
playing
the
Blue Sky.
There ain't a cloud inside.
Yeah.
Really?
In the pain. Don't you know? It's a beautiful new day. Hey! Dun, dun, dun. Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us what
Yeah.
you had to
The music selection is bomb for this movie. It is amazing.
I love when they play Bad to the Bone.
That's probably where all their budget went. Instead of paying off the critics, they paid off the movie.
I mean, they got some pretty famous actors. Like Brady said earlier, Metro Man was Brad Pitt, which is
Brad Pitt was Metro. I did not know that.
I did not know that either. That's pretty cool, actually.
The only one I recognize is Will Ferrell. And,
Will Ferrell was Megamind.
and
I honestly couldn't even notice either, but I think that's just because I don't really relate actors to characters, especially ones I like.
Mm-hmm.
All the other ones I probably recognize are Jack Black and Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Who's Minion?
Minion was oh god, oh shit, what was his name now? Oh my god, I said it earlier too. Fuck, I'm just gonna Google it again. Minion was David Cross.
Alright, cool.
Let me tell you, it's this guy. He was in the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies.
Huh. I didn't know
This guy.
Ben Stiller was in this movie.
Yeah, Ben Stiller played he played Bernard in for 3 lines. I'm like, what the fuck? I was so shocked when I read that.
I thought
Yeah, Peanut as Bernard, like...
J.K. Simmons in this movie? Did he play the
Yeah, it's the
warden?
warden.
That's what I thought.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, there's apparently a lot of famous actors, and it's a really good movie. I really like it. All the characters are great. All the voice acting is great. I can't think of someone who does bad.
No, I like this movie.
Roxanne's a great character. Megamind's a great character. I like Metro Man. He doesn't show up very often, but
He's funny.
he disappears through the first part. He appears for the first quarter and then disappears.
Well,
basically.
he dies in the
But
first
he's good.
25 minutes. But he doesn't die. But he's
Bernard's a sad, depressed fellow. I think it was pretty funny. He was sad, depressed, and then Megamind just took him over.
Mm-hmm.
How's the character's obviously a bad. He's a good character, but bad as in his traits. He is a bad person. But I like what they did with Hal. I like that they gave the good guy, quotation marks, the chance to be the good guy, but he wasn't at all. He in fact turned evil and bad. That was very cool. I've not seen any movie do anything like that yet.
No.
Right? Because usually the good guy person doesn't ever show up in movies.
No.
Yeah. I like what they did with pretty much every single character. Minion was good too. He was just a supporting character, but that was his whole thing, is that he was supporting Megamind. That makes sense. I even like the little iRobots, the little robots that Megamind uses. I don't know how to describe them. I think they're called iRobots. Brainbots! I like them! They don't show up very much at all, but they have lots of personality, and I love them.
Oh my god. Alright, let's just go back.
Remember that time when the Brainbots picked up Bernard in Megamind's lair? P.S. Megamind was Bernard at this time, and then he swapped over to Megamind, and he's like, "It's Daddy!" And then they dropped him. Really? Yeah. Any other things? Or shall I keep going?
Keep going, man. I just found Master Chief replaces Dante, and I really want to get this mod now. Master Chief rocks up, fucking boom! He's holding the gravity hammer in the photo, so
You're gonna break your PC.
probably. There's a lot of there's some mods. One of them is just called Potato Mod, and it just makes the game run better by lowering all the graphics for you and retexturing everything to be trash.
You should just name this episode "Chris Talks About Megamind."
I wouldn't. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, it's so funny.
We can.
Your guys' decision. You guys can do whatever you want. I get to talk about Megamind. I'm happy. Please go watch Megamind. Very awesome. I think, like Brady said, there is a short, but I don't think there's any other really Megamind or anything. DreamWorks doesn't even show them in their new intro. Sad.
Oh, yeah.
They don't show a lot of movies other than their main ones. I think they do show like one move. I think they show some of their new solos too, but not really any of their old stuff. Yeah. Other than like How to Train Your Dragon and How to Train Your Panda, because it's very
You mean Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu
How to
Panda.
Train Your Panda! My favorite movie! Gotta let it out.
But didn't the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is over now?
Yeah.
So they only have Kung Fu Panda left?
Sash.
Yeah, but I mean Kung Fu Panda 4 is coming out. When is Kung Fu? 2024, I think?
That's next year?
I think so. Let me check.
Yeah, apparently a new Kung Fu Panda is coming out, which also they're doing a new Shrek, so that's pretty cool.
Kung Fu Panda 4, 2024.
I hope DreamWorks does well. They deserve it. And Disney's not really doing anything good right now, so.
No, a lot of their movies are just coming out kind of trash.
Um,
All I'm saying.
their newest one, Adventure to a New World, wasn't half bad, but it wasn't really anything spectacular. I think I only watched the last half.
I've only seen the second half of that movie. Alright.
Yeah.
We should have a 10 Gentlemen podcast on games.
I wanted to do a games
Should.
episode, but like Landon doesn't want to do games yet because he doesn't have time to play video games. Also, I just want to say the ultimate fucking battle: Master Chief Dante version 2.0 versus Lady Demestri, the fucking tall chick from fucking Resident Evil.
Oh, that
Lady Demestru?
Yeah, over the Urizen,
Demestrus?
like the final boss of the game. Just saying,
funny.
the ultimate showdown. I'm gonna ruin this game so bad, it'll be amazing.
That's what I did to Left 4 Dead 2, Brady. I love mods.
I'm
funny.
just trying to find really funny. I'm just trying to find really funny, like character swap ones, soundtrack swaps, just random garbage.
Yes.
Bayonetta announcer. Everybody is
What
replacing.
would
Virgil.
landed?
Isn't Master Chief? Is Master Chief taller than Lady
I
Demetrius?
don't think so. Let me check.
No, Lady Demist is like really tall.
How
Yeah,
really
Master
tall.
Chief is like 8 foot.
tall
Yeah, like 8
is
foot. She's
Lady
tall. Like she has to sort of slouch over in like rooms. That's
She's
how
9
tall-
feet 6 inches tall.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Master Chief is 7 feet.
Yeah. She's freakishly tall. Yes.
Yeah, Master Chief
guess-
is 7 feet tall. 2 feet taller
guess
than
what
the
else-
Master Chief.
What else is there to talk about Megamind? I sort of like that at the end how Roxanne is like willing to give Megamind another chance because Megamind did like lie to her about his whole persona as Bernard.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, she obviously didn't like Megamind, so
No shit.
P.S. I'm pretty sure Roxanne's attracted to intelligent people, which is why she is willing to accept Megamind. So snazzy. And why she never liked Metro Man actually.
Mm-hmm. Dude, they have the JoJo
Yeah.
music pack.
But JoJo Muji music band.
She's not
Some
taller
other
than a Hunter,
things.
though. Hunter is 12 feet. and 12 to 13 feet
I mean,
tall.
all I have to say is Master Chief would clap a lot of people. Lady Damask would be no exception.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like the games, I feel like he would still beat Lady.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, anything else about Megamind? I don't think so. His gadgets are pretty cool. I wish there was more of Megamind. Because he's pretty cool.
They made a short that I've never seen, that I never heard about. And
Yeah.
they're also apparently making a sequel cartoon, but I have no idea if that's true or not.
It'll be pretty cool if they
reported
do,
on it-
actually.
People were reporting on it this time last year, but
Yeah. Um.
Move fast, baby, don't. I'm just looking at all these. It's so funny. They're so. I want to ruin this game so bad. I cannot wait
Do
till I
it.
get paid. Playable chair. The chair is now playable. That's it, baby. Just want to let you know, Chris. You've been talking about this for over an hour now.
Yeah, I know. I love Megamind is really entertaining to me, and I like it. It's really awesome that I was able to do this.
Chris Wins Podcast Edition.
Yo.
Let's go.
Yeah, Chris wins. Chris wins is my favorite game. Chris wins.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a
Bale,
second to
cat
anything else
paws.
I want to talk about.
Which one is your favorite entrance out of all those entrances, Chris?
I like the last one.
For what?
Well, Megamind's entrances. Which one's your favorite?
Oh,
It's gotta be the last
I mean,
one. I'm
presentation is the best one. I don't know what to tell you. It's the only. It's the best one. It just is. When I'm gonna explain this a tiny
This
bit so
makes
people
more
know what the scene actually is. So after they go to talk to Metro Man, and Metro Man sort of rejects them. Roxanne tries to go to talk to Hal, which I think at this time he has a different name.
Titan.
I don't even remember what it is, but I'm just gonna keep on calling him
It's
Hal.
Titan.
Oh, it's Titan. Yeah. He gets pissed when Roxanne tries to call him Hal. He's like, it's not Hal, it's Titan. And he gets pissed at Roxanne, and then like sort of, I think he ties her to the top of a skyscraper with like a metal pole. He sort of just wraps the metal pole around her, and she's sort of there. And then Megamind has to use all his iBots and like all his gadgets and stuff to sort of distract Hal and get Roxanne out of there. He uses his iBots to create a giant version, to create a storm, which then creates a giant version of his head, and he talks back and forth and says some meany things to each other because it's just, yeah. And then I don't even remember how they get to it. How did they get to that joke of you're not a supervillain?
You're a villain. Well, it's because he's like, so it's at the end where Megamind goes to attack Hal, and he's like, yeah, we only need one supervillain. And then he's like, oh, you're a villain, all right. Just not a super one. And he's
Not
the
a
big head in the
super one.
sky. He's like, oh, yeah, what makes you so different than me? He's like, presentation. And he fucking comes out of
The big
out
head of
his
Megamind
mouth.
sticks out his tongue,
Yeah.
and Megamind like walks out. It's an awesome scene. I love it. And then Titan Hal gets really pissed at this time and charges straight into the head, and of course, because he has the power of Metro Man, he does survive and like destroy a lot of the iBots. But the Megamind head like tries to chew him up, and it's really funny. Just tries to chew him up and like spit him out, but sadly they lose. But during this time, Megamind like sneaks away to get Roxanne the heck out of there before he realizes. He gets Roxanne a bit of the way, but then Hal sort of picks up the skyscraper and uses it like a huge ass spear to throw at Megamind. Which, during the kerfuffle of trying to dodge that, he throws Roxanne so she survives, and then he disappears, only his bike is left. And then, out of nowhere, Metro Man comes back, and
he's like,
essentially shoos off Hal, because...
But he fucks up and calls it Metro City. Metro City.
But Titan comes back and realizes it's Megamind, posing as Metro Man using his little watch, because Titan only knows of one person who calls the city Metropolis instead of
Metro City.
instead of Metro City. And Megamind goes, oops.
Oops.
So he tries his best to escape, and he has a little jetpack on the time to to try to help with the cosplaying of Metro Man, because Metro Man flies around free. And Titan like rips it off his back and throws him up, so he's gonna fall to his death. But during this, he realizes he still has his. I forgot what the gun was called. The little sugar cube gun.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's ever actually said.
It's probably said somewhere, but it's the action which it causes. That's what the gun is called. But it like takes away water out of things and then turns into like a
it's dehydration
gun. But it just like dehydrates things and takes away water and turns into a cube. So if water comes back into it, it just puffs back into whatever it was. Don't ask. Megamind just knows how to do this.
Don't ask why they don't die of dehydration.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. And then also during this, he got back the gun, which gives Howl his powers. So he's gonna take the little pill out of his nose so he doesn't have the powers anymore. So he dehydrates himself, so he falls into the fountain. And then he says, "Olo!" and sticks the thing up his nose to get the powers back. And ta-da! That's really cool. And that's like the
Secretly
end of the
speaking,
movie.
Christopher just watched the entire movie while we were talking, and we didn't even know.
I didn't even watch the movie today. I hope you know. I haven't watched the movie.
He's just
for
been
a whole
watching
month.
it the whole time.
This is off of pure memory. Yeah.
Wait, so if Metro Man can move so fast that he can stop time, and Titan has the exact same powers, why couldn't Titan?
You're right, except for the problem is Titan doesn't know how to use the powers. Imagine if the baby got into a tank. Like, yeah, it knows how to move the stick so it can go forward. And he knows how to use the lasers, same as Metro Man, but he doesn't really use his powers to the full extent. And also, it's maybe he didn't get fully Metro Man's powers. Maybe. I'm assuming he just doesn't know how to use Metro Man's powers to his full extent, though.
Probably not.
That's my assumption. Yeah. Plus, like, Hal only had the powers by, like, what, 20, 30 minutes?
He had it for a couple days.
No, the movie... Yeah, he had it for a couple days, actually. For the movie, it was, like, 20 minutes, but... Yeah. Yeah, and I like how, like, he doesn't really know how to speak some words. That's sort of, like, an interesting little quirk. I like that. That has some funny comedic moments. Like he says, "Olo," "Olo," which I feel like that's Spanish. Hello, no?
No, that's hola. Hola.
Okay,
Is that
you
really-
just can't think right.
Maybe
The
confused
fact
the
that he
two.
probably never went back to school and he stayed in prison the entire time, never got a proper education.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing I never really stated. Is that I mentioned it, but I didn't really talk about it. Is that he tried to go to school where Metro Man also was, but it didn't really work out. He was sort of like a total outcast, especially since kids can be like that somehow, which is really interesting and just wacky. That's a true fact of life, is that kids can be just really isolating of other kids sometimes. But anyways, so he was isolated, so he says, screw it, I'm going full evil. So he, like, essentially smoke bombed the entire preschool blue, and so everyone had, like, blue on their faces, and the whole little preschool was blue, and then he went back to prison, and then it did a huge time cut to the normal story. During this time, they were, like, literally in preschool. They were, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah, they were kids.
Yeah, and this is about when he got Minion. I don't think it ever shows how he got Minion.
Yeah, he was just given to him by his parents.
Oh, okay.
He just shoved it in the pod. He's like,
Yeah.
this is your minion, he'll
So
help
Minion's
you.
been with him the whole time.
Dante replaced
Yeah.
the unicorn Gundam.
Um,
This is so dumb.
I think that's pretty much all of the movie. Really good, really like it. Yes, I highly recommend. Very entertaining. Really funny
Agreed.
moments in there.
Let's.
How did you think of the movie, Landon? All right. Thank you, Landon, for very good insight. Anything else
I
you
was
have
so
to
just
say
here.
about your opinions on the movie, Brady? Like,
It's very funny. If you haven't seen it, you should go see it. Great movie. Do it.
yes,
Watch it.
I've
I
been
fucking
ranting it
dare
for like
you.
an hour and a half, so you probably should.
Yeah.
Landon, I don't think you heard me. Do you have any opinions? What's your opinions on this movie? How do you feel about it?
Good.
Anything you super like or super dislike or anything of note or anything at all?
Not really. Like, this is the point where I should have watched it a second time. Because I didn't really go into much detail the first time around.
Mhm.
And I realized this.
Don't worry, I covered probably most of, if not a lot of it.
Yeah, but I didn't get to cover if there were any good, well-shot scenes.
I really
There's a
like.
lot of-
Foreshadowing anything.
I would say there's a lot of good ones.
Yeah, like Brady said earlier, there's that one scene where, he's constantly. So this is at the point where he's cosplaying as Bernard near Roxanne, and he's constantly switching back and forth between Megamind and Bernard, complimenting himself, like telling how he's winning about the battle, but also complimenting himself at the same time.
Pretty
Like,
sure there's one point where he's even fully.
Hmm.
he fully what?
Where he had both clothes on, right? Where he had Megamind's outfit,
I
but
don't-
Yeah, well, at the end they put him on like they put the white jacket on him or whatever.
Oh, yeah,
what's that guy's name? Face? Some guy's face? The other guy's face?
Metro Man. But
What?
if you're thinking about Bernard, then no, because that's not how the watch works. It's like a hologram that goes around him. But it's more of an hologram because actually, like, if you try to touch it, it's actually there. Very inventive, cool stuff. But yeah, at the very
Okay, I
end, he
got-
gets Metro Man's cape, and it replays the scene of like him getting the key to the city. But instead of it being Metro Man, it's Megamind. So that's a really cool callback. I really like that scene. And actually, you can see Metro Man in the crowd.
Yeah,
he's like
well,
watching on as
watching-
Megamind,
yeah,
and he's
then
happy.
He's standing in front of this guy, and the guy's like, "Excuse me, my kid can't see." He's like, "Oh, sorry about that. You did good, kid.
Sorry
I
about
knew
that,
you had it
kid."
in here. I knew you had it in you." And he's just looking at the fucking.
Megamind.
He's looking at
as he's-
Megamind and the.
As he's holding Roxanne and has Metro Man's cape and is like getting the key to the city. But everyone's like celebrating Metro Man, Megamind at this point.
Yeah, because he saved the city.
Yeah, that's like the very last scene.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, very good movie. I think a lot of the scenes are shot. I can't think of anything super bad. Yeah. Yeah, pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
I think that's all I have to say right now. If I watch it again, I probably will have a little more.
Probably same for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be quite honest. You cut out 3 times in that conversation, I got really lost.
Nice.
Me?
That's funny. It's all you.
You cut out for like a good 5
You're
seconds.
the one who keeps cutting out for me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was just describing the end scene and how I like that Metro Man went and like looked upon Megamind from the crowd and he's like, "Yeah, I knew I had it in you. I knew
Oh,
you
I-
had it in you." It's like, good job.
Oh,
I like that scene.
I thought we were talking about the guy with the Megamind fighting with himself while complimenting himself.
We were, but then we quickly transitioned to the end scene because that was a lot more interesting, and I like that a lot more. Yeah.
Oh, that's when it cut off for me. Oh, I got it. Yeah, that's
Oh,
when it cut
yeah,
off
but-
for me, and then you guys suddenly went to that new scene.
Okay. Yeah, we sort of just quickly transitioned to the last scene because Brady brought it up, and I liked that scene because I forgot about that. Yeah. I guess the only other thing is I really like the aesthetic. Pretty cool. I like it. Black Mamba looks pretty snazzy.
Oh, Black
I like the mech he uses.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I'm good. Otherwise, I'm probably gonna keep on finding small random things to talk about. Like how he
looks
somehow
like the
got a
podcast
damn
is over.
space laser into the space. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually cool.
I have nothing else to add. Do you, Brady?
No.
Kenyon?
Not really, no.
Can you probably have you even watched Megamind?
I have. I watched it a few months ago, but that doesn't mean I'm qualified to talk about it because I don't remember anything from it.
Damn.
Ah, okay.
Should we end it here?
Why
Yeah,
not?
I think so. Yeah, I guess the only other thing is that Megamind was at the time of its release was not a very well rated movie. People didn't really care about it they just didn't really care about it. They didn't really like it. It probably didn't help, like I said earlier, that Despicable Me came out, and sort of stole some of the fire that Megamind had. And some people thought Megamind was just a rip-off of Despicable Me, even though it's not at all.
No.
No, I mean,
Different themes.
like the biggest
Yeah.
like thing is like, I feel like a movie like Megamind has a lot more staying power than something like Despicable Me, because like Despicable Me is way more marketed towards children. Yeah, there's a couple
Yeah.
funny memes that come out of the movie. My favorite
Despicable
one,
one was definitely the best one.
my favorite one is like, assemble the minions. We have bad news. The girls have started an OnlyFans.
Yeah. Megamind
Yes.
is definitely a far more mature movie than most animated
Oh yeah, it
movies.
aged way better than I would have.
It aged really well, and it just has really, I would say, more mature themes. I think one of the first ones is just straight up the bold move of nurture. That can be a really controversial topic for a lot of people.
Yeah. It also probably flew over the heads of more people compared to something like what Despicable Me had.
Yeah, I would say it's one of the few
Father-daughter
movies that like
relationships.
an adult and kid can enjoy equally in their own ways, and it's really good.
It's great. Watch
Yeah.
Megamind, you fat assholes.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I guess that's it.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, have a nice day, guys.
Alright, see ya.
All right,
Thanks
Yeah,
for
see you
inviting
for
me.
sure.
podcast. Close, you fat
Yeah.
ass.